Today, we are diving deep into the art of the research interview. This is one of the most powerful ways to get past the numbers and uncover the real stories, the real motivations, the stuff that raw data can never, ever tell you.
You know, we're surrounded by charts and spreadsheets. They're great, they tell us what is happening. But let's be honest, do they ever really tell us why? That's the real question, right? That's where we move beyond just data points and start to understand the human experience behind it all.
And this really frames it perfectly. Think of it like this. Surveys are fantastic for measuring things you already know to ask about. You can quantify patterns, you get the what. But interviews? Interviews are for pure discovery. They're for exploring that rich, sometimes messy, and always fascinating why behind what people do and think.
So how do you actually get those amazing insights? Well, it doesn't just magically happen. It all starts with a rock-solid foundation, what we're calling your pre-interview blueprint. Honestly, success here is all about the prep work.
Before you ask a single question, you have to build trust. It's really a simple three-step dance. First, you set the scene. Create a safe, comfortable physical space. Second, create a safe psychological space by being totally transparent about why you're there. And third, you make that trust official by getting explicit consent. Look, these are not just items to check off a list, they are the absolute bedrock of an honest conversation.
And that last point, consent, is so critical it gets its own moment in the spotlight. Let's be crystal clear, informed consent is a non-negotiable ethical line. It's all about respecting your participant as a partner in this process, not just some subject you're studying. It makes sure they know exactly what they're getting into, and that empowers them to share openly and honestly. Okay, so with those foundations in place, you get to choose your style. This can range from a totally free-flowing and formal chat all the way to a super rigid spoken survey. But for a lot of research, that general guide approach is the sweet spot. You've got your core topics you have to cover, but you also have the freedom to follow an unexpected, interesting tangent if it pops up. And trust me, that's often where the gold is.
All right, now we get to the heart of it all, the questions themselves. Think of this as your most important toolkit, because how you build and use these tools is going to determine everything you get out of the interview. And what's brilliant here is you can see the sheer breadth of what you can explore. A truly great interview doesn't just stick to one of these. Nope, it weaves them together. You're not just asking what someone did, their behavior. You're asking how they felt about it and what opinions they had that led to that action in the first place. That is how you build a complete 3D picture of their experience.
You know, the order you ask your questions in is just as important as the questions themselves. You've got to warm people up. Start with the easy, factual stuff to build rapport. Then, once that trust is there, you can gently move into the more sensitive topics. And whatever you do, never ever underestimate the power of that final question. Is there anything else you'd like to add? It so often delivers the most unexpected and valuable insights of the entire conversation.
Okay, now for a huge red flag, a critical mistake you have to avoid. A leading question like, "Don't you think that new policy is a total disaster?" Well, that's not really a question, is it? It's your opinion disguised as a question, and it completely poisons the well. You're basically telling them the right answer before they've even had a chance to think.
So what's the solution? You keep it neutral and you keep it open-ended. Instead of that loaded question, you simply ask, "What are your thoughts on the new policy?" See the difference? It's huge. You've just opened the door for their genuine perspective to walk right in. And remember, one simple, clear question at a time. Don't overwhelm them.
Now here is a pro tip that might actually surprise you. Be really careful with the word why. As simple as it sounds, it can sometimes feel accusatory, like you're asking someone to justify themselves. So instead of "why did you do that?" try rephrasing it. Something like, "What were some of the things that led to that decision?" Or, "Could you walk me through your thinking there?" It's a subtle shift in language, but believe me, it makes a world of difference in keeping the conversation open and comfortable.
Okay, you've done all the prep. You've crafted your perfect questions. Now it's showtime. This is the performance, where your role as the interviewer really comes to life. Your job in this moment is to be a neutral, encouraging guide. You are a human data gathering instrument. Any strong reaction from you, whether it's positive or negative, can influence what the person tells you next. So you listen, really listen. You use subtle cues like a nod or an aha to show you're engaged, and you gently guide the conversation to keep it on track and on time.
So you've said your goodbyes, the recorder is off, but hang on, you are not done yet. Not even close. The moments immediately after the interview are absolutely critical for preserving the quality of all those insights you just worked so hard to get.
As soon as you can, run through this checklist. First, the technical stuff. Is the recording okay? Can you actually hear everything? Second, flesh out your notes immediately, while the conversation is still vivid in your mind. And third, add the context. Note their mood, their body language. Was the participant energetic? Were they nervous? Did the fire alarm go off in the middle? This metadata adds incredible depth and color to the words themselves.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground here, so let's take a breath and boil it all down to the essentials. When you really look at it, it all comes down to 4 core principles.
Let's call them the 4 pillars of a great interview. If you can get these right, you're well on your way to mastering this skill. Let's walk through them one by one.
Pillar number 1, meticulous planning. Your success is decided long before you even meet the participant. Having a clear purpose, finding the right setting, and building trust through ethical consent, that's the launchpad for everything that follows. Don't skip it.
Pillar number 2, thoughtful question design. Remember, your questions are your tools. If those tools are poorly made, if they're biased, confusing, or asked in the wrong order, the data you collect is going to be flawed. It's the classic saying, garbage in, garbage out. And pillar 3 is neutral moderation. During the actual interview, you have to be a blank slate. Your job is to listen and to encourage, not to judge or to lead. The reliability of the entire thing rests on your ability to stay unbiased.
And finally, our 4th pillar, immediate review. The interview isn't truly over until you've checked that recording, clarified your notes, and jotted down your observations. Don't let all those valuable details and nuances just fade from your memory.
Because ultimately, that's what this is all about, isn't it? It's about uncovering something new, something surprising, something deeply human that a spreadsheet could never show you. Your next great insight is out there, and it's just one question away. The only question left is, are you ready to ask it?